The Hole in the Ark by George Marriott Edgar. One evening at dusk, as Noah stood on his ark, putting green oil in the starboard side lamp, his wife came along and said, "Noah, summat's wrong. Our cabin is getting quite damp." Noah said, "Is that so?" Then he went down below, and he found it were right what she'd said. For there on the floor, quite a puddle he saw, it was slopping around under 's bed. Said he, "There's an hole in the bottom somewhere, we must find it before we retire." And he thowt for a bit, and he said, "Aye, that's it, a bloodhound is what we require." Say he went and fetched bloodhound from place where it lay, tween the skunk and the polecat it were. And as things there below were a trifle so, it were glad of a breath of fresh air. They followed the sound as it went sniffing round, till at last they located the leak. 'Twere a small hole in the side about 2 inches wide, where a swordfish had poked in its beak. And by gum, how the wet squirted in through that hole. Well, young Shem, who at sums was expert, worked it out on his slate that it came at the rate of per gallon per second per squirt. The bloodhound tried hard to keep water in check by lapping it up with his tongue, but it came in so fast through that hole that at last he shoved in his nose for a bung. The poor faithful hound, he were very near drown. They dragged him away none too soon, for the stream as it rose pushed its way up his nose and blew him up like a balloon. Then Mrs. Noah shoved her elbow into hole and said, "Hey, it stopped, I believe." But they found very soon she'd altered her tune, for the water had got up her sleeve. When she saw as her elbow weren't doing much good, she said to Noah, "I've an idea. You sit on the leak, and by tender week there's no knowing, the weather may clear." Noah didn't think much to this notion at all, but reckoned he'd give it a try. On the hole he flopped down, and the leaking all stopped, and all, except him, was quite dry. They took him his breakfast and dinner and tea, as day after day sat he there, till the rain was all past and they landed at last on the top side of Mount Ararat. And that is how Noah got them all safe ashore. But ever since then, strange to tell, them as helped save the ark has all carried a mark, aye, all their descendants as well. That's why dog has a cold nose and ladies cold elbows. You'll also find if you inquire. That's why a man takes his coat-tails in hand and stands with his back to the fire. Okay, that was The Hole in the Ark by George Marriott Edgar. If you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.